And then we found out that the biggest threat in Cancun in spring break was actually swine flu. So, and now, obviously, with the latest flu epidemic, you see more of this demagoguery over and over again. You see it, you hear it when you drive home. It's on talk radio. It's on television. And there are a couple of Latino voices out there, just a few. There are 300 syndicated columnists in the country, and 10 of us are Latino. And of the 10, I'm in the most papers, about 200. And even so, most of the time, I feel, to borrow an analogy from a friend of mine, like I'm behind enemy lines with a .45 running out of ammunition. And I'm surrounded by Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and Lou Dobbs and Michael Savage, and I've lost count, there's so many. And they're all mimicking the same things. And it's easy to talk about immigrants when you don't know any. And I sometimes will joke with these guys. I said, you know, Bill, when you come back in the morning in the studios at Fox News in the morning, who do you suppose it was who cleaned out your waste paper baskets last night? It wasn't elves. With little pointy hats. But it's my job to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. And sometimes people who I've afflicted who are comfortable might be Democrats in Congress, who I think dragged their feet and didn't deliver on comprehensive immigration reform, and they have to. They should. And sometimes it's liberals who are now hemming and hawing about whether we should put a Latino on the Supreme Court, when the answer is absolutely we should. But I will leave you with this. As someone who's paid to stay on top of the news, we know this already. We live in very interesting times. The Chinese curse goes, let him live in interesting times. But we live in perilous times too. And this is a time where we can fight it out among ourselves all day long, like we used to in college back in the day, when those Metro meetings would go deep into the evening. You know, I'm more Mexican than you, I can prove it. Or we can realize that there are a whole set of folks out there who really are our enemies, and who really are arrayed against us. And this is a very serious fight. I mean, my heart's heavy at the moment because there's this terrible story out of Pennsylvania. You may have heard about this. A guy named Luis Ramirez, an immigrant, was killed in a hate crime. And 2 days ago, a jury acquitted of murder charges the white kids who did it, and instead convicted them of simple assault. So this is obviously assault. Yeah, this is a very difficult time for us. This is the Dickens era for Latinos. We're being courted and chased by Fortune 500 companies who want the $800 billion that we spend every year. We're also being chased by Minutemen along the border. It's a bit of a schizophrenic time for Latinos. We're not really quite sure where we fit into this. But I know this, we're going to do a lot better. We're going to stand up a lot stronger and higher and taller together, united. We don't have to agree on everything. 15,000 words a month? Did you guys think you're going to agree on everything I write? My wife doesn't agree on everything. She loves me. As she says, we agree half the time, the other half the time I'm wrong. So I thank you very much. You honor me by bringing me here. I want to thank my wife, Veronica, for being here, for supporting me. And I was on a panel recently with my friend and colleague Maria Hinojosa, and she made a great point. She said, as hard as we work, our families pay the price because we're away, and we're away from our kids, and we're away from our families. And so it's my wife who's really picked up the slack, and I couldn't have done this without her. Thank you all very much. Gracias.
The honorees come to the front. We're going to take pictures with the members and the honorees if you step forward. We're at the end of our program. Just to let you know, I want to personally thank Mini, Tatian, and Armando Chavez, and staff, and also all the staffers from all the other members. Raise your hand if you help. There's a lot of them out here. Thank you so much for your great help. God bless. I hope you enjoyed the program, and let's start having our party started with the dances in the back. Thank you so much.
Y